Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this isn't a part 2 to my other video where I drew concepts for Jazwares plushies. This is just a remake, I guess you can say. Because I feel like I could have done better on these concepts, mainly because I didn't add that many stitch lines, so it didn't really seem like it could be made into an actual plush. And I also only did one angle, which is just the front side. I didn't include like a side or a back angle, so I made sure to do that with these concepts I made. So without further ado, let's go to the first concept of this video, that being Shadow Freddy. So Shadow Freddy wasn't too hard to make. All I did was just redraw Jazwares' normal Freddy plush and just colored it purple. And of course, Shadow Freddy has a missing ear with wires sticking out, so I made sure to do that as well. Because Jazwares has a special thing with wires. As you can see with their mango plush, it's this weird shape, like it looks like a really thick wire when they're not really that thick in the models. But that's how Jazwares does it, so just did it with their Shadow Freddy. And this is also Jazwares' way of doing the withering for the Nightmare animatronics. It's pretty simple, so added that to Shadow Freddy as well, since he has withering on his arm. And when Funko made their Shadow Freddy plush, they didn't even bother to have buns on him. So I'm really hoping Jazwares adds a bun to Shadow Freddy if they ever get to making him. And I didn't mention this earlier in the video, but another reason why I'm doing these extra angles is because I may eventually make these concepts into actual plushies, but I'm not sure yet, so just keep an eye on it, I guess. Now that I got that out of the way, let's move on to the next concept I have, that being Nightmare Mangle. So for Nightmare Mangle, I didn't just recolor her, I actually had to mirror the images since her endo head is on the other arm. But besides that, I didn't really change much for her. I just added the same withering on her ear as the Nightmare Foxy plush does, and I just made her endo body a darker gray. Well, I mean, she already had a dark gray body, but some parts were white or a normal gray color, so I made sure to turn those dark gray as well. And then I also added a little withering on her eye, since she has that in her model, and they did that with Nightmare Foxy. And then for her endo body, I also had to change some of the lines on her, since Nightmare Mangle's endo body is different than normal Mangle's endo body. And then of course I had to add the teeth on her, since the other Nightmare plushies have the sharp teeth, so I added that as well. And now let's move on to the final concept of this video, that being Springtrap. So Springtrap has a lot of withering, kind of like the Nightmare animatronics, so I made sure to have the withering style Jazwares does, where I added withering around his eyes, added withering like just anywhere on his ears, and also added the withering on the arms as well, and a little bit of withering on his torso, since that's where he has the most withering. Now Springtrap's toes don't exactly have withering. I mean, they're just already end of feet, but there's some like pinkish red flesh lines on him, so I figured I would do the same like Nightmare feet withering, even though it's not technically withering. I mean, I could have just drawn lines on the feet, but that would have looked a bit weird, so I just decided to put pinkish withering on him. And then also, because I mentioned that, I also added that black bun he has, since he only has one. And on Springtrap's model, there appears to be some remains of an endo ear on him that's sort of sticking out, so I added that as well. That could probably be easily be done by Jazwares. And just like their Mango plush, I also decided to add the thick wires on him. I couldn't really tell if spring Jazwares are red or if they're black, but I decided to make them all red. Now, I couldn't really decide whether or not I wanted to add teeth to Springtrap, but I feel like his grin is probably defined enough to the point where it's necessary to add it to a plush. I mean, Funko did it with their Springtrap plush, even though the smile looks goofy. And I'm gonna be completely honest, mine looks kind of goofy as well, but I'm sure if Jazwares decides to add teeth to a Springtrap plush, they'll probably find a way to make it like less goofy and more a bit creepy, I guess. And that's all the concepts I have for this video. I may get around to doing a part 2, and I'll see you guys next time.